FAB-Racing.
Start their race one for the sidecars in this one. You see many different styles out there on these sidecars, a lot of them scraping all sorts of parts of their body as they go around the circuit. But one style we particularly noted watching out in qualifying and in practice was Iona Glover trying to get her head down around the circuit.
Yeah, it is fascinating to see, as you were saying, these riders all changing the way that they transfer their body weight, and some of them very much leaning and using their shoulders. Iona very much almost scraping that helmet on the ground. But we've got some of the riders making their way to the field, and hopefully we'll have pretty much a full grid here at the MiniF1 Sidecars, which is great to see. Their third outing on the season, back at Wilton Mill. Of course, they made their first appearance, and of course 2 weeks ago up in the northeast of England at Rowrah, northwest of England. There we go, wrong side of the country. But Rowrah was the second outing. Mick Williams, Michael Elms, they were, well, sensational, just comfortably 2 or 3 seconds a lap faster than anyone else. The 44 of Mick and Danny Lee were trying to close in. However, last lap of the last race, unfortunately, Mick left Danny on the side of the circuit at turn 1. So it's going to be those two, Mick Williams and Michael Elms, on pole position and the 44 of Danny Lee and Mick Lee in second position. So watch out for that. Adrian and Claire Ems will be lined up in third position as well. The married couple, and spoke to Adrian, and he was gracious enough to offer me a ride as a passenger on that sidecar this weekend. So hopefully I do get the opportunity of going out there, because there's a very lovely offer from Adrian himself, and I would love to give it a go, because you yourself had a go up at Rowrah. How was it for you? Yeah,
no, I'd massively recommend you having a go on one of these sidecars. It was a lot of fun. It was very difficult. It was very different to anything I've ever done, but it was a good bit of fun and a good something different to experience, and it was definitely really enjoyed it, and I definitely recommend that you should have a go yourself. But now our attention should be on the professionals, the guys that know what they're doing in this class, and the guys in this class who really know what they're doing is Mick Williams and Michael Elms, who line up on pole position for this one. What can Mick and Danny Lee do about the charging Mick Williams? We've seen him dominate this championship so far. No one has had a win in the MiniF1 Sidecars in 2020 except for Mick Williams. So will we see anyone else? Can anyone challenge the number 26 in this one? Of course, running a different layout for the sidecars, but they look to the lights for the first time this weekend here at Red Lodge. A slight, almost a jump start there from Mick Lee, but just manages to get it stopped. But now into the lead is the number 26 of Mick Williams. Brilliant start there from the number 26. Mick Williams and Michael Elms away at the front of this one for race one for the MiniF1 Sidecars. They haven't broken away just yet, but expect to see these guys putting the hammer down in this one, as we already see an outfit out of the race. That's the number 230 out of the race. That's Mark Parker, unfortunately, out of the race at the beginning of this one. You can see Adrian and Claire Ems flying their way through in this opening lap as well, up into third place in this race. So brilliant start for them, and that's the two Glovers that are out of the race. That's Dave and Iona Glover, who are out of this one. Really unfortunate start to the weekend for them. Yeah, just a spin on the exit there. It looks as though at turn 8 for Dave Glover, but race underway. Claire and Adrian Ems are back up into second position. Mick Williams and Danny Elms and Elms in first position. Mick Lee and Danny Lee, there we go, in second position. Adrian and Claire Ems in third place. So a good start from the Ems couple. They're currently in a podium position once again. We've seen that a couple of times so far this season in their time out on circuits. Vince Bailey is in fourth position with Jason and Leo Greenstreet in fifth place. Scott Dewitt, who unfortunately we saw go down in the Pit Bike 140 class on the 333, is now out on a sidecar 333, and he's in sixth position. Yeah, so a familiar colour scheme that we saw earlier on in the Pit Bike 140s running in this sidecar race as well, but it's Jason Greenstreet having a good race there in fifth spot. You can see on the black and blue bike they're just running really well, but Mick Williams already with a sizable lead in this one. 4 seconds it was already across the line, so Mick and Danny Lee not quite able to match the pace of Mick Williams. Once again, Mick Williams and Michael Elms just showing utter dominance around this circuit, drifting their way around this wet circuit. But this battle further back is brewing really nicely between these guys. There's Adrian Ems in there, there's Jason Greenstreet, Vince Bailey, the number 333 Scott Jewett in there as well. So battles all through this field as Scott Jewett just has a look toward the outside of Jason Greenstreet. Can't quite make a move stick there. Be quite an impressive move if you can make a move around the outside at turn 1.
Yeah, it would. And of course, as up the inside goes Adrian and Claire Ems up into second position past Mick and Danny Lee. So great move there from the 76 up past the 44. And Claire getting her body weight in. They're going to go a little bit wide, and that's going to open the door for the Lees to go back up the inside. But this battle is for second position in the race. And both bikes have shared second places all throughout the season. 4 out of 6 has gone to Mick and Danny Lee, and Adrian and Claire Ems have picked up the other 2, and they're going to go to the inside. It's going to get ever so close, but the door is very much shut in the face of Adrian Ems there, and Claire just trying to move her body weight over so it brings that bike into a straight line as they go down towards the inside line at turn 8 as they go around the inside and back up into second position. Great overtaking here from these 2 bikes.
Yeah, incredible stuff from these guys, swapping and changing positions. You can see number 44 trying to get a drive as they go down the back straight down into the final corner. They do have the inside line, so that is Mick and Danny Lee back up into second position. So these guys throwing absolutely everything at it. Who's it going to be that's going to take this second position? Only 2 laps to go in this race. On the grass was the number 76 of Adrian Ems. Brilliant stuff there. Just loses a little bit of time from it, but gave us plenty of entertainment.
Oh, what a run there that Adrian Ems had. And yeah, unfortunately Mick Lee just closed the door, and they're going to have to go again. But this is where we see positions change. It's not quite close enough for Adrian Ems to get a run this time, but this is where they take differing lines. You can see the 44 can take a tighter line through the corner at turn 9, and Adrian takes a much wider line on exit, gives him a better run towards the final corner. But it's Mick Williams and Michael Elms that are leading this one once again, and comfortably 2 seconds a lap faster than anyone else on circuit. And they're coming on to the final lap, and in fact they're coming around the very short run to the line. And of course it's a shorter circuit. They go from turn 2 all the way through to turn 7, so it's a shorter run. However, it's no less frenetic. We've seen a brilliant battle for second position. However, it is at the front, normality is resumed. It's going to be the 26 that are going to take their 7th from 7 here at the MiniF1 Sidecars. Up to the line are your winners, and it is the 26 of Mick Williams and Michael Elms. That is a 100% win record for them. Up to the line comes the 3 of Dave and Iona Glover taking the checker flag a lap down. The battle for second position is going to go right down to the wire, but it's going to be the 44 that just holds onto it on the line ahead of Adrian Ems and Claire Ems. Brilliant racing there from the 76 and from the 44. Yeah,
brilliant stuff. Vince Bailey also there, picking up 4th with Jason Greenstreet in 5th. Just about managed to get that one out. But yeah, brilliant racing from the sidecars, and one of the most exciting races we've seen from these guys there, with a brilliant battle between Mick Lee and Adrian Ems and their respective passengers as well. So brilliant stuff from the race 1 for the MiniF1 sidecars. Mick Williams it was, who was dominant out the front. No one can catch him so far this season, and you wonder if we're going to see anyone else winning races in this category. But there he was that won, as we just see a couple of riders scooting the bike back into the paddock there. Not quite what you want to end your weekend. But Mick Williams it was that won ahead of Mick Lee. Adrian and Claire Ems in 3rd, Vince Bailey in 4th, Jason Leah Greenstreet in 5th, Scott Jewett in 6th, and Dave Glover in 7th. Mark Parker it was, who was scooting his outfit back into the paddock, and not what he would have wanted to do. You would want it to be powered by a foot.
No, that's probably the biggest skateboard I've ever seen from Mark Parker there, but it's very much, unfortunately, will be coming back tomorrow, hoping to get that bike fixed and back underway. But it will be Mick Williams that's taken 175 points from 175 points in the championship. But that is the first race of the day and the weekend for the MiniF1 Sidecars done and dusted. Mick Williams and Michael Elms. They've taken a comfortable 7 from 7 victories. Yesterday's fight was between Adrian and Claire Elms and Mick and Danny Lee in 2nd and 3rd position. Now, they had a great fight on circuit. That was the first time we've seen real sidecar to sidecar action here this season.
Yeah, absolutely. All the races so far have been quite spread out in the sidecars, but yesterday we saw them bashing panels in yesterday's race, and it was brilliant to see, and hopefully we'll see a little bit more of it in this one as well. The closest anyone's ever got to Mick Williams and Michael Elms has been the outfit of the number 44 of Mick and Danny Lee, so we'll have to wait and see if they can take one to Mick Williams in this one. It's going to be a tall order, just considering how quick Mick Williams and Michael Elms are in that number 26 outfit. But it doesn't look like we have the number 44 on the grid at the moment, so that's your 2nd place outfit of Mick and Danny Lee. Currently not on this grid, so we'll have to wait and see if they do manage to get out there and start this race. But if so, it's going to be a comfortable lead for the champions at the moment in this one. The number 26, Mick Williams and Michael Elms. So dominant in this class, and we have no Mick Lee, so that is going to be an empty 2nd place grid slot, but it is going to be Mick Williams and Michael Elms who are going to be lining up on pole position for this one, and they're going to be looking to extend their championship lead, but they are already the champions.
They are, and they will be lining up on pole position with the couple of Adrian and Claire Elms in 3rd position after negating that 2nd grid slot that has been vacated by both the Lees. But then you've got Vince Bailey is back there as well in 4th place, but plenty of racing to come from these MiniF1 sidecars, especially out there in this greasy circuit. And I spoke to Adrian on Friday, and he said it's not like racing anything else it's not like racing on anything on 2 wheels. It's not like racing a kart. It's not like even being on a jet ski. So it takes a while to get used to, and it's a lot of fun when you're on it. So yeah, looking forward to seeing what they can do there on circuit. It's going to expect to see a lot of sliding here, and of course transition of body weight, incredibly important in these very difficult conditions indeed. But the 26, the champions of Mick Williams and Michael Elms, they've taken 7 from 7. Can they make it 8 from 8 here? The 2nd race of the weekend for the MiniF1 sidecars as they get ready to look to the lights. Lights on, pause, and we get ready for lights off and down towards the first corner. It's a poor start for your pole sisters. They're going to get swamped into turn 1. Adrian and Claire Elms take the inside line, take 1st position around the outside. Jason and Leo Greenstreet are trying to go side by side as they go through, and a brilliant move from the Greenstreets up into the lead of this one. Your championship leaders and champions are back in 3rd position. Not a great start for Mick and the Michael Elms.
No, not at all. Not what they would have wanted at all. But those lights were held for quite a long time on the grid. I think it just caught them out a bit there. You saw a few outfits creeping as we see a wheel in the air there for Jason Greenstreet. Leo just struggled to get onto the other side of that outfit, and that just forced the 3rd wheel in the air there. And now that has allowed the Elms through, Adrian and Claire Elms through into the lead of this one. Jason Greenstreet going real defensive into turn 1. He knows Mick Williams is trying to make a move up the inside there, so now we have a 3-way battle for the lead in this race. Still 6 laps to go in this one. Just a short, sharp race for the MiniF1 sidecars. Jason Greenstreet looks to the inside, not close enough to make a move stick on the far end of the circuit. But you're going to have to be thinking it's going to be a matter of time before Mick Williams and Michael Elms find their way through on these guys, because they have been so strong at the front of this championship. And they get brilliant drive coming out of turn 8 now down the back straight, and they make their way up into 2nd place. So now that is Williams and Elms up into 2nd place in this race, and all over the back wheel of the 2 Elms. Adrian Elms going real defensive down into turn 1. No room for Mick Williams and Michael Elms to make their way through on this one. They just need to make themselves as wide as possible around this red light circuit, trying to make sure there is no way through for Mick Williams and Michael Elms.
No, they've just got to hug the inside line. What can your champions Mick Williams and Michael Elms do? With Adrian and Claire Elms currently leading, they go slightly wider into the entry of the S's, and he cuts off the nose there of the 26. But you can see, do they do the same move they did last time around? It is a quick flick to the right hand side. They're going to go side by side round the back straight, but Adrian Ems just holds onto the position. We saw Adrian and Claire Ems taking to the grass yesterday as they were going side by side down the main straight. They're going to do the same thing this time around with the champions, the 26. But once again, this is a brilliant race from Adrian and Claire Ems, holding off a very, very fast 26 bike, and you can see just how much more speed that 26 took through Senna at turn 1 and turn 2. Adrian and Claire Ems, however, though, seem to have a nice launch down that back straight.
Yeah, Adrian's just making sure he's making that outfit as wide as possible, making sure there's no way through for Mick Williams. Mick Williams trying to invent something there into turn 8. Very difficult, and a big slide on the exit there as they go down into the back straight, trying everything he can to try and get past Adrian and Claire Ems. Adrian doing such a brilliant job of riding and driving as defensively as possible, and there's battles all through this field as well. Down into turn 1, who's it going to be? Let's go real defensive again from the number 76. He knows all he needs to do is keep Mick Williams and Michael Elms behind him on that outfit. So you can see how he just takes to the inside line into every corner. He knows with only 3 laps to go in this race, if he can make himself as wide as possible, there is going to be no way for these guys to make their way through. Trying to invent something again on the far end of the circuit. They're going to try and get the drive once more. They're going to be side by side down the back straight. Can't get close enough as they go down into the final corner. Once more, they're going to come down the home straight once again. Will Mick Williams have a look into turn 1? He's had a look on the last few times, but so defensive is the number 76. We've really got a race on our hands here.
Yeah, this is brilliant racing from Adrian and Claire Ems, holding off the only riders that have taken a championship victory so far this season, and his last time round going purple, a 41.364 for Adrian and Claire Ems, and they're still holding on to this one as they go on to the penultimate lap. Mick Williams and Michael Elms, they've taken every win so far on the season, but Adrian and Claire Ems looking at picking up their first. Can we see side by side down the back straight? But once again, a really good run for that 76 as they go down towards paddock for the second to last time, and just one more tour around this Red Lodge circuit. They take the final lap flag, and Adrian and Claire Ems have just got to make their way around this 7-corner circuit. Of course, a slightly shorter circuit for the MiniF1 Sidecars. A little bit of traffic up ahead for the 90 there, but that's worked out quite nicely there for Adrian and Claire Ems. They've got a bit of a gap between themselves and Mick Williams and Michael Elms. Just a few more corners to go. Can the switchback be done by the 26 as they go into the next corner? That's tight there from Elms. He tries to cover off, and that's going to allow Mick Williams to go alongside as they go down the second to final straight. Elms covers off the inside line. Just one more corner as they come around the final corner. Can Adrian Ems get the run to the line? He is. It's a first win on the season for Adrian and Claire Ems. Mick Williams and Michael Elms are finally beaten. What a race. That's the best race we've seen from the Sidecars this season.
What a victory for Adrian and Claire Ems. They did everything they needed to do. Got in the front of this race after that poor start from Mick Williams. Made themselves as wide as possible and made sure there was no way through for the dominant force of Mick Williams and Michael Elms. Still your 2020 champions though, and it is Adrian and Claire Ems that win the race ahead of Mick Williams and Michael Elms. Mark Parker in 3rd, Vince Bailey 4th, Dave Clover in 5th, and Scott Jewett down in 6th place in this race. So a brilliant win there, and what a race we just witnessed.
Yeah, thumbs up between the first and second place finish there. But very, very well done goes to Adrian and Claire Ems. They really deserve that one. Brilliant, as you said, just continuous defensive riding there from Adrian Ems, and Claire doing her job as much as Adrian. And behind Mick Williams and Michael Elms, well, they've been beaten for the first time this season. However, they are your 2020 MiniF1 Sidecar champions, and however, they have been beaten, so it's great to see that others are getting themselves up on the but Mick Williams is coming over to the start line. He's going to do one final lap just to celebrate what has been a stellar season. And Mick Williams, that is the first time that we've really seen him involved in a battle. A poor start, had to start getting past a couple of bikes off the start, but Adrian Ems and Claire Ems doing a brilliant job just holding them off.
Yeah, absolutely, and they even had the fastest lap of the race as well with a 41.3, so a well-deserved victory for Adrian and Claire Ems did exactly what they needed to do around this Red Lodge circuit. Got a brilliant start off of the line, and just helped slightly by the poor start by Mick Williams. They were held for quite a while, but your 2020 Mini F1 British champions, Mick Williams and Michael Elms. What a season they've had. They've been so dominant at the front of this one, winning every race apart from that one we've just seen. There's another race to come later on, but they've just been the outfit to beat all season long.
Yeah, and very much powered by Red Bull is that 26, and what a season from those two. Mick Williams and Michael Elms have deserved every single win they've taken, and even with the second place, they have been fantastic to watch. So dominant in the races they have won, and it's been great to see them finish off the season with a flurry and a fight to the finish with someone else. But yeah, that 26 has been at the front, and it has been so superb to watch. It's the first time this season we've managed to, myself and Trystan have managed to watch the sidecars, and it's been great fun. And this pair have really showed you just how you ride one of these bikes.
Yeah, absolutely so. And then they were explaining to us it's so different to anything else we see on circuit, in the way you ride it, in the way we watch it, in the way we commentate on it. And it's just been so brilliant to see such a different style of riding out there on circuit. And it's been brilliant to see two riders and drivers in their absolute form, in the best form possible at the front of this championship. The most dominant force out of any championship in FAB Racing this year. So a well-deserved championship victory for Mick Williams and Michael Elms.
The final race of FAB Racing for 2020, the F1 or the Mini F1 Sidecars. Now, race 2 saw a bit of topsy-turvy. We saw Adrian and Claire Ems, who have just taken lead going into the warm-up lap here, had just fended off Mick Williams and Michael Elms, making sure that they didn't finish the season off with a 100% win rate. But yeah, it's going to be an end to a brilliant season here at FAB, and an end to a brilliant season in the sidecars.
Yeah, Mick Williams and Michael Elms have been absolutely dominant. They are your 2020 Mini F1 Sidecar champions, but they didn't have it all their own way in race 2, like you say, Gareth, with the two M's, Adrian and Claire Ems, taking that win just ahead of Mick Williams and Michael Elms. Of course, these guys run a slightly shortened track here. They skip out the infield sections, a bit of a faster turn 1 for them, and it's going to be Mick Williams and Michael Elms lining up on pole position for this one. Adrian and Claire Ems will also line up just behind them, so will they be able to do the same once again? This is the final race of 2020 in the FAB Racing Minibike British Championships. This is the final bit of racing we're going to see until 2021, and I think we're going to be in for a cracker with these sidecars, different to anything else we see on circuit, and it's going to be the final time we see them this year as the lights go on and quickly out here down into turn 1. Mick Williams and Michael Elms get a very good start, much better than last time. Jason and Leo Greenstreet trying to go around the outside there. Adrian and Claire Ems already with a little bit of a gap to Mick Williams and Michael Elms in front, so they're going to be looking to defend from Jason and Leo Greenstreet, and we know how dangerous it is when Mick Williams and Michael Elms have that space out the front.
Yeah, they got jumped into turn 1 in race 2, but this time they've got a good run into turn 1, and they hold the lead of this one, and they'll be looking at picking up another and final win on the season here in the Mini F1 Sidecars. Leo and Jason Greenstreet, and equally Adrian and Claire Ems, who are currently in second position, will be looking at closing in on them. But it's been a good start for your 2020 champions of Mick Williams and Michael Elms on the 26 bike, and yeah, it's going to be a brilliant race as usual. I just had a quick glance out the window as they started, and wheel spin for all 7 bikes off the line as they put the power down towards turn 1. It's always great to see them make a lot of noise, and they're always very impressive to watch. And of course, if you want to get involved, go to fab-racing.co.uk, find out more. It's always great. Why not get involved in sidecar racing, get more of these sidecars out on circuit? And of course, you can find out all about it by going to the website and watching all the races back from this season by going to FAB Racing's Facebook and YouTube page, and of course motorsport.radio too, the world's only 24/7 dedicated motorsport radio, with interviews, clips, music, the lot, and of course live BSB commentary as well every other weekend at the moment. So much to sink your teeth into, but this is the final race of 2020 here at FAB. And Trystan, what a season we've had.
Yeah, an incredible season in all classes, and especially as well in this Sidecar Championship. Been so impressive to see Mick Williams and Michael Elms, your 2020 champions, how dominant they've been in this Sidecar class, and they have been for a few years now in this Mini F1 Sidecar category of the FAB-Racing Minibike British Championships. And with 4 laps to go in the final race of the year, there's 5.6 seconds between Mick Williams and Adrian Ems, so they're absolutely flying out the front of this one once again. But it's Mick Williams who is just completely destroying the rest of the field at the moment. Adrian and Claire Ems currently in second, number 90 of Jason Greenstreet in third, Vince Bailey in fourth, Scott Jewett in fifth, and Mark Parker in sixth, with Dave and Leona Glover in seventh in this one. But who can catch the charging Mick Williams and Michael Elms out the front?
Yeah, it's going to be it's looking as though Mick and Michael might be ending the season on a high, finishing off with a very strong win ratio. They lost the second race to Adrian and Claire Ems on the 76. However, they will be looking at finishing off with a bang and sending themselves off into the off-season with that victory. But it's going to be a brilliant season of sidecar racing, and watch out for that battle that is brewing somewhat between Jason Greenstreet and Vince Bailey in third and fourth position. But it is Mick Williams and Michael Elms leading from 6.5 seconds to the Ems pairing of Adrian and Claire. Jason and Leo Greenstreet in third place, with Vince Bailey, Scott Jewett in fifth position, and then Mark Parker and Dave and Yola Glover in seventh place, back off the pack at the moment. But Mick Williams, Michael Elms, they've put on a show for us this season. They may not have gone 100% throughout the season, however, they show us how to ride that sidecar around a majority of the UK circuits.
Yeah, and it's been brilliant to see such a dominant force at the front of this category. It was great to see Adrian and Claire Ems pick up a victory in race 2, and it's good to see new names at the top. But it is Mick Williams and Michael Elms have been so strong at the front of this category, with just 1 lap to go in this one as they come across the line to complete the penultimate lap here for the final race of the year in the FAB-Racing Minibike British Championships. They go through turn 1 for the final time, and they will take this final race win here for the Mini F1 Sidecars. They've won every single race apart from one, and that was of course won earlier on by Adrian and Claire Ems. But Mick Williams and Michael Elms coming on to the back straight for this final time down towards that final corner, and they will be taking their final race win of the year for the final ever race in the 2020 FAB-Racing Minibike British Championship goes to Mick Williams and Michael Elms as they cross the line, take the checkered flag. Brilliant victory from them. Another victory in the Mini F1 Sidecars for Mick Williams. It will be Adrian and Claire Ems that come across the line to take second place, and Jason and Leah Greenstreet rounding out the podium in that one.
Yep, your champions sign off with a victory here in the FAB-Racing Minibike British Championship, the 7th and final round of the season. Congratulations goes out to the 26 machine. Adrian and Claire Ems end off very well indeed in second position, and then Jason and Leo Greenstreet in third place as well. So congratulations goes out to our champions, and what a season we've had here at FAB, and we've had a brilliant season. Really enjoyed that one. Thank you very much for joining us for the entirety of it. It's been absolutely brilliant to bring it to you here from the commentary box.